This is KGW News at noon.
New today, the Portland Thorns head coach Rian Wilkinson announced her resignation. Welcome to KGW News at noon. I'm Blair Best. The news comes one day after Thorns owner Merritt Paulson announced he was selling the team. The Thorns say that Wilkinson self-reported a matter to club leadership late in the season, and the team passed that information along to the National Women's Soccer League. Wilkinson posted on her Twitter page today explaining that the matter involved romantic feelings between her and a player on the team. She wrote in part, quote, "The narrative regarding my actions has now taken on a life of its own. And as a result, I can understand that the Portland players feel hurt and have to deal with another non-soccer related situation," end quote. Wilkinson also shared that players asked her to resign and she agreed to their request. It is important to note, though, that the Thorns say an investigation found Wilkinson did nothing wrong. Wilkinson joined the club before the start of the 2022 season. Under Wilkinson's leadership, the Thorns won their third NWSL championship. And happening right now, a meeting to address a recent lawsuit that aims to stop Measure 114 from becoming law. Measure 114 was passed by Oregon voters last month. It would ban the sale, transfer, or manufacture of magazines with more than 10 rounds of ammunition. And it also requires both a permit and a background check to purchase a gun. So we'll see what the meeting brings, but at this point, the measure is still set to go into effect next Thursday. We'll continue to update you on air and online at kgw.com. Now to a big update for people planning to head to the mountain this weekend. Ski Bowl opens tomorrow. They're only opening the lower and upper bowl lifts and the west conveyor lift. You can get tickets starting in an hour at 1 o'clock today. But first, Chris McGinnis joining us with the weather. And Chris, will we see some more snow in the mountains this weekend?
In the mountains, yes, and maybe in the valley too. You know, I know that perks some years up. I'll get to that in my extended forecast in just a second, but I wanted to elaborate on Blair's point here. The base at Timberline is about yay high, and about this much of that came this week. It was just an epic week up in the mountains, and this is the result. The east side of Mount Hood just basking in the glow of the sunshine in the East Gorge. This is from our camera near Oregon's Veterans Home in the Dalles, pointed west towards Mount Hood. We, of course, on the west side of the Cascades have been socked in cloud cover all day. This is a live look from our Wells Fargo sky camera. And one more stop on the west side. We take you to the beach, where it's kind of gray, but still a nice day at the beach, right? Nice to go for a walk. There you go. Lincoln City, our Chinook winds camera showing a slate gray sky there. And those clouds are actually yielding some rain not too far offshore. And there you can see it on radar right now. The progress over the last 2 hours. Some of that has tried to work its way inland, but a lot of it's just evaporating before it hits the ground. There is a little bit more punch just waiting offshore. And the thought here is that some of that could pivot its way inland a bit later today. We're 43 last check at PDX. The breeze is a little gusty out of the east right now, and I do have a shower chance in our afternoon forecast with temperatures pretty much holding steady in the low 40s. We start to dip as we get into the dinner time hour. And to your other question, Blair, snow, yes, mountain snow for sure. Will there be valley snow this weekend? It still is a slight potential for Sunday morning, and I'll walk you through that coming up in just a few minutes. All
right, perfect. Looking forward to it. Well, one of our top stories this week, the $27 million approved by Portland City Council to jumpstart Mayor Ted Wheeler's plan to address homelessness. Now, the mayor's office put out a release saying a portion of that money is coming from overcollected taxes and unspent money in Multnomah County. But what does overcollected taxes actually mean? Well, we did some digging and found overcollected is a bit misleading. Back in 2020, voters approved the Metro's supportive housing services tax. That was to help raise money to help end homelessness in Washington, Clackamas, and Multnomah counties. Now, originally, Metro estimated it would raise $250 million a year. But then the pandemic happened. And with the economy hurt, Metro lowered its expectations. Now, it wasn't until April of this year when Metro found it collected way more than it expected. But, and this is important to note here, nobody paid more than what voters approved.
What it really is a sign of a healthy economy and a sign that our recovery out of COVID is doing better, at least for the high income earners and large businesses that are paying this tax around the region.
Now, the money collected has already been put to good use this year, getting 1,600 people off the streets and helping 9,000 more with rent and eviction protection services. Now today, Portland's Central East Side neighborhood will meet with city leaders to discuss their upcoming 90-day reset plan. It's the latest attempt to address the rising crime in that part of the city. Back in June, Old Town wrapped up its own 90-day reset plan. And Catherine Cook checked in to see how that plan worked out there.
So for Old Town, our new normal is that it's not a free-for-all.
Not a free-for-all for crime, trash, and violence. That's how Jesse Burke saw Old Town at its very worst, though challenges there continue. Burke co-owns the Society Hotel and chairs the Old Town Community Association. Her new normal perspective comes months after Old Town completed a 90-day reset plan with the city's help. It started back in March with a commitment to working together.
We're all stuck in the same boat, so we better be rowing in the same direction. Otherwise, we're going to start spinning in circles. And I think that we have been spinning in circles for the last couple of years.
Now in forward motion, Old Town leaders picked 3 specific areas to improve upon within their 90-day plan: safety, cleanliness, and accessibility. Areas where they hoped to be able to measure improvement. For the trash, Burke asked for 3 dedicated cleaners and a driver from Clean and Safe.
He's telling us he's sometimes making 3 trips a day to the dump, just with his one truck, just from Old Town.
Burke also asked the city for better lighting, specifically to double the lumens coming from lampposts. When a city employee checked the lumens, they made an interesting discovery.
The takeaway was actually that the lumens were a little bit higher than average. And the reason for the darkness was that the buildings weren't leaving their lights on, or that the lights were broken. I could check in and say, hey, this is really meaningful feedback, and I can fix that problem right away.
Burke says that's just one example of how they worked with the city to find a solution instead of just complaining about an assumption.
You have to take back your neighborhood and speak up for it.
On Tuesday, Burke shared her experiences with business leaders from the Central East Side Industrial Council, a neighborhood many here say is unsafe to work in. This week, business leaders and city officials will hammer out their own 90-day reset plan.
We deal with break-ins, we deal with assaults.
Darren Marshall is CEO of Stephen Smith Teamaker, headquartered on the Central East Side.
For us, we need to see results and actions.
Whether a 90-day reset plan will deliver them remains to be seen. But from where Burke stands, committing to finding solutions together, then daring to try them out, has made a lot of sense.
I'm excited for them to all go through the work and then see the results on the other side.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Multnomah County is moving forward with a proposal to ban selling flavored tobacco and nicotine products. Commissioners approved a first reading of the proposal yesterday and are expected to give final approval in their next meeting, which is on December 15th. Now, if passed, the ban would start in January 2024. Supporters say the goal is to keep tobacco away from kids and teens, while opponents worry about the impact this will have on businesses. Multnomah County health officials are asking for help to keep the recent rise in RSV, COVID, and flu cases in check. County Health Officer Dr. Jennifer Vines is asking everyone to wear a mask indoors again. Now, this is not a mandate, simply a request. She's hoping people will follow through at least until the end of the year. Officials say this will give overwhelmed pediatric care units and emergency rooms a chance to catch up.
RSV, rhinovirus, enterovirus, influenza, all of these viruses are very familiar disease processes to the pediatric care community that are caring for these children. So this is not a crisis of the disease, this is a crisis of resources.
In addition to masking, hand washing is more important than ever with RSV, which tends to spread on surfaces easier than COVID. Another big takeaway, making sure you're only going to the emergency department for true emergencies. Doctors say many people are showing up just to get tested, which is bogging down the system.